The first thing you all know is our promise, and we know it so well that we have some new friends to celebrate. So pay attention. Let's see who's coming to be celebrated for our Zoom promise. Participate, be respectful. Yeah, that means don't interrupt, say nice things, be on time. Thank you for that. You guys rock. Stay muted. Don't yell out, Miss Chris, in the middle of the lesson. Okay. Include your name or change your name in the Zoom chat. Stay in your seat unless I tell you to get up. And next week we will be getting up. We're gonna have a good time next week. Okay, so I'll send out some instructions for what we're gonna do next week, and keep your eyes on the screen because look, it's monkey clap time. Jamarian, Ava, who just turned 7, by the way, and Mr. Siddharth for all their happy birthdays. So happy birthday. Next is February. I wonder who's gonna be there for February. We'll find out. Who are the weekly spotlight friends? We have Miss Christina for being an awesome Zoom Promise Keeper. If you end up there for the awesome Zoom Promise Keeper, you know that you can draw me a beautiful picture and send it to me in an email, and I'll use it as my background. We have a few friends who haven't done that yet, but you're more than welcome to. If you have been, I think the last few friends have been Jaden, Ava Marie, Abdul, Christina, Jackson. All those friends can submit pictures. I think we did Addie's a few weeks ago, right? So it was fun. Also, we have Janarine for amazingly detailed responses. That's right, not one word answers. How are you today? Fine. No, I need to know more information. Give me all the information I need. When you are writing your responses, it's not just 1 or 2 words. You're writing it in complete sentences and using our super vocabulary words. And Mr. Jackson for working hard and turning in his work. I'm loving grading your papers. Right now, we're going to dive into place value. We have a lot going on. But I did promise that for the rest of the school year, Mrs. Cruz is going to talk a lot about place value because it's my favorite thing. Place value. Remember place value in math? Well, today we're going to use concrete models. That's when you draw stuff or show how you know it, and place value strategies so I can add and subtract tens and ones from any number. I know I have it when I can add and subtract tens and ones from any number. Okay, so, and then we'll need to learn how to explain our strategies. So, have you ever been asked a question? And this is pretty funny. Let's say you came home from school and your parents said, what did you learn today? And you say, I don't know. Have you ever done that? Yeah, I know you have. Uh-huh. So those types of answers, they won't get you points in math. We need you to tell and explain how you solved it. Well, I used this strategy and I found this sum, and you have to be able to explain it. Next steps, we're going to learn how to regroup. That's a big one. A regrouping strategy. How can we use tens and ones to add and subtract from any number? Okay, Miss Cruz, enough. Here we go. Math vocabulary words. These are the words that I will be looking for in your DBAs. So when you're explaining yourself, use these words. In this, for this topic, regroup, place value, tens, ones, T-chart, carry, sum, addition. These are words that I will be looking for. There are lots of other words, but these are the ones I will be waiting for you to tell me. Use these terms in your discussions. Yeah, around the kitchen table. Your explanations. Yeah, when you talk to me, and your responses when you write them down. All right, okay, here we go. Let's review adding tens to any number. Okay, so I was in a snowball fight with London, and I made 22 snowballs. And then it wasn't enough. So my friend Johnny gave me 20 more. How many do I have? Okay, some of you already know the answer. Shh, shh, shh. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. 22 plus 20. Those are big numbers. Wait a minute. Remember when you took your iReady test and some of you guys were like, why are these numbers so big? Remember that? There's a trick. There's strategies. There's tips for learning how to add bigger numbers. You already know some of these strategies. Let's review. The first strategy we might want to use. What's this thing called, Jaden? What's this big chart called?
Number chart.
It's our hundreds chart. That's right. And we can use our hundreds chart to help us add those snowballs together. Let's watch and see how it happens. Addie says, you had 22 and you get two more tens. Two more tens is 20. 22 plus 20. Oh, I can do this. That means I'm adding two stacks of tens. Let's watch. How's it going to happen? Clear, clear. Watch the yellow circle. Watch it. Did you see that? Can we do it one more time? Watch, watch. It's going to happen. Two more tens down. And our sum is 42. We can add or use I'm adding tens, I'm sorry, using our hundreds chart. It's easy. We can also use our hundreds chart to add ones. Now let's look at another strategy. What do we call these things? Larissa, what are they called?
Cube?
Yes. What are the tall ones called?
They're for like 10 and 20 and all
Tens,
those.
yes, they're called tens rods.
10, 20,
Mwah,
30, 40,
chef's
40.
kiss.
Yeah.
Thank you, my love. All right, here we go. So we could use our models, our place value models, using tens rods and baby one cubes or units to add the same value. Look at that, Siddharth. Two tens and two ones. And then we have to add another two tens. Does this look familiar? What's that called, Siddharth?
T-chart. The answer is 42.
How'd you know that?
One second.
Oop, I can't hear you. You muted. But wait, let's see if you're right. Hold tight, hold tight. He said the answer is 42. Joshua, are we going to agree that if we add two tens and another two tall tens, we're going to end up with four tens. And then we still have our two baby ones left over. Joshua, what do you think? Yeah, he agrees. I like that thumb. The sum of two tens and two tens is four tens. And the sum of two baby ones and no more baby ones is still 2. 2 plus 0 is still 2. What is the value? 10, 20, 30, 42. 42 is our value. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies, for helping me with solving it using two different ways. We had our hundreds chart and our place value models. Here's another way. Hold on to your seats because this is going to take us in a whole new direction. Here we go. We could collect the tens and ones in their own columns and use vertical addition. Vertical is up and down. That's right. We could write our first number, 22, and then add our second add-in right underneath it. I call them stacking. Okay, we stack our add-ins, 22, and then we added 20 more. So put it right underneath and line it up. You know, your room might not be neat and tidy, but your equations must be. That's right. You can't scribble them all over the page. They have to be lined up perfectly well so we can understand them. Now, we're going to collect these tens and ones. What are we going to do with them? Look at that big red arrow. What does that big red arrow say to do? Let's see. How about, let's see. Christina, does that arrow tell us to go and add down or up?
Down.
That's right. We're going to add straight down. We're going to drop like raindrops.
Yeah, I think you're gonna put, a number down there.
Yes, that's right. Thank you, my love bug. Thank you very much. We are going to put our sum, use that word, our sum for each place at the bottom. So notice what we did. 2 plus 0 is still 2, and we put the answer at the bottom, just like Christina said. Now we're going to scoot over to our tens place, and we have 2 tens and another 2 tens, and we write our sum at the bottom. And what's our total? It's the same as what Sidar said earlier, 42. All right, now we're collecting straight down. Remember, you need to see this. This is going to be something that's part of your world. All right, place value, vertical additions. But wait, I'm doing it wrong. I made one little mistake, guys. I should add something first. I should always add something first. In my last slide, let me go back and show you. I did a boo-boo. I added my tens first. That is going to be something that I need to stop doing. Okay. It's not going to be helpful for me. But why? Why should I never add my tens first? Let's discuss it. Okay. This is a big one. Why should I always add my baby ones first? Who thinks they know? Siddharth's got his hand up so fast. Go ahead. Why should I add my baby ones
Because
first?
if the equation is a carry forward, if you add the tens, it'll be totally wrong. So first you need to add the ones.
I agree. I agree because the ones, well, you're going to see what's going to happen. But if I have ones and they grow up and get too many, well, how do I leave them there? Let's find out what happens.
Put them in the tens place.
That's right. If we collect or add too many ones, we need to carry them over somewhere else. Let's find out what happens if now I had 22 snowballs and my friend gives me 18 more. Okay, vertical addition. Everybody write your 22. There it is. Now we're going to write our 18 underneath and we're going to add straight down. If I did my tens first, I wouldn't have any room for all of my ones. Look how silly. Please don't laugh too loud. Please don't laugh at me. But if I did my tens first, if I made that big boo-boo, look what my answer would be. What? What? 22 plus 18 is not 310. Something's wrong. Why is this wrong? I know, because I did my tens first. Oh, Miss Cruz, erase it quick. Okay, let's try it using and adding my ones place first. All right, let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's count all of our baby ones. Look at that. Look at that. 8 plus 2. I drew a model next to it. That's 10. Can't leave them there. Can't leave all 10 in the ones place. Stop! We need to move the teenager over to the tens place. He grew up. We have enough to move and carry over to the tens place. Now, how many tens do I have? Wait, who's going to count that for me? Johnny, I used to have 2 and then 1 more, but now I have an extra one.
That's 12.
Let's look and see. You can count 1 plus 2 more plus 1 more.
3.
1, 2, 3, 4. Let's
4.
look and yes, check it out. Check it out. I know it's kind of
14.
hard to see because it looks like a rainbow, but look at this. I have 2 and then another one is 3. And then the one that I carried over makes 1 more. 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's why I would have got
40.
yes, I would have gotten it wrong if I had done the tens place first. Never do the tens first. Turn to an imaginary friend sitting next to you and wag your finger and say, never add the tens first. Go ahead. That's right.
Never add the tens first. Never add the tens.
Okay, great. Mute up. Now put your hands on your hips and turn to another imaginary friend and say, always add the ones first. Always add the ones first. That's perfect. All right, my love bugs, let's move on. This is called regrouping. When we can group up a set of 10 and move it and carry it over, we regrouped it. We made it into a 10. Now, why do we do it? What is regrouping? If you have tons of ones, they might be too hard to count, too hard to carry. So we regroup and carry them out. Well, I'll repeat that one more time. If you end up with tons of ones, that means you're adding so many ones that you can regroup some of them and you can carry them over to the tens place if you can make some tens. We don't want too many baby ones. We want to move them over. Okay, Joshua, question for you. If we had a race and you had to count all the baby ones here, and I had to count the ones that are already made into tens, which one would win the counting race? You counting all the ones or me counting by tens?
You.
I know. Would you rather have yours all nicely neat into tens too?
Yes.
Yeah, right? Is that more efficient?
Yeah, a race like that would be fine. But a race with me having one and you having 10, no.
That's not fair. I know. So we should group them, shouldn't we? Or regroup them into tens. Thank you, my Josh. Mwah. Awesome job. Now we're getting closer to the end. When you regroup, when you have tons of ones and you regroup them into tens and move them, carry them over, that's called regrouping. Regroup. Regroup. All right, guys. So does this look familiar? We're getting close to the end. Look at my little baby crying. Look at the tens and the ones. He's crying. I have so many ones there. Who can count those so fast? Go.
1, 2, 3, 4,
14, 14, 14, 14,
7, 8,
14.
10,
If you said 14, you got it right. Thank you. Mute up in
14.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. You're right. Oh, you did such a good job counting all those red baby ones. That's too many. Wait a minute. You can't put a teenager in a crib. Ah, he doesn't fit. Does he look happy sitting in there? He grew up. Move him out. He does not belong in there. So he needs to move. That's too funny, isn't it? We need to get him out of there. Move him over to the tens place since he is a 10 now. He's old enough. And notice how many ones are still left over that cannot make another 10. Now, we moved them, we regrouped them, and we made how many tens? 1. Now, what's our final value? And this is just a quick model showing you that you can make a 10. This is another way to do it. I like to draw circles around my little dots, but this is another way to do it, is to fill in an imaginary 10 frame. Okay, and you can make your 10s, and the value is 14. Fabulous. You just need to remember that if you have tens, don't leave them in the ones place. They don't fit. Okay, this is we're coming to our Nearpod, so I'm going to skip this. And this, oh, by the way, before we get to the Nearpod, this is what you will see in your topic, your lessons. They actually have them in 10 frames. So we have our add-ins, and you'll notice that we're adding 18 pickles, and then we're adding 3 more. Notice where the 3 is. It's over in the ones place. I knew a kid once who put 3 babies over in the tens place. What the baby's doing over in the teenage party? Get them over there in the ones. So notice that they're lined up perfectly. All my ones are straight down like a raindrop. And look at my tens. All my tens, which I only have 1, is over here in the right place. Get it? Place value. Right place. Okay, make sure that you don't mess up and put the babies and the teenagers and the teenagers and the babies, and everybody gets confused and it's just a messy party. Now, if we add straight down, like Christina said, like a raindrop, we would add our ones. But before we do, look at that. I can take some of these at the bottom. How many would I need to take and regroup them up here with our ones to make a 10? Anybody know how many are missing? Who knows? Who knows? Larissa, how many right here? How many spots are missing? Two. I could.
8.
Yes.
8 plus 2 equals 10.
Beautiful. You can take those 2 from the bottom, put them up there, regroup them with the group of 8 on top, make a 10. Once we make a 10, how many are left over? This is one little baby. This is one little baby left over. And now, but we made a 10, and now we can move that 10, carry him over, slide him over to the 10s place. And look at that. You now have 2 10s. Isn't that awesome? I love 10s. Joshua and I said we would rather have 10s than a bunch of tons of 1s. So now our final answer is 2 10s and 1 left over. Okay, guys, we're ready for a quick practice. Your code is ready. 4UI7E. 4UI7E. Oops, that's 4UI7E. There, I did it right this time. All righty. So this is just a very, very quick practice. As soon as we are done, we'll say goodbye. We probably won't have a lot of time afterwards because I need to do my 2 small groups. Remember, we only have 2 groups now. While you are logging into Nearpod, and I am going to swing over there and share it again in my other screen. So hang tight. There it is. You should be able to see it on my screen now. 4UI7E. While you are logging in, I do need to tell you that I have thought of my first challenge. My first math challenge is hilarious. Are you guys ready for this? You have 2 days. Before I tell you, let me just mention that I will also send a message to your families so they know what the challenge is as well. So as soon as I get done with all of our groups, I'll send the message out. But here it is. Our first challenge, math challenge, is hilarious. Did you know it's the 100th day of school on Friday? And for that, you guys can participate by sending me a picture of what you look like when you're a 100-year-old man or woman. Okay, so I want you to dress like the 100-year-old person and then have your parents take a picture and email it to me. And if I get more than 5 pictures, I will make a fun little collage picture and share with everybody. Okay. So what would Julian look like as an old man? What would Johnny look like as an old woman? Oh my goodness. Oh,
I would not want to be in that activity.
I've done this in the classroom, and people put like white powder or white temporary color in their hair, and they did their eyebrows white, and then they they put the ladies would put a kerchief over their head, and the men would put like white beard stuff and thick glasses. Oh, it was hilarious. One of them had a nice little sweater. One of them came in with a little walker. It was so cute. Anyway, so you are welcome to participate. It is optional. It doesn't affect your grade, so it's just for fun. And remember, you can only participate if you've been turning in work every week. All right, now let's do this Nearpod and be done. This is going to go pretty quickly. Here is a video. I'm not going to play all of it. We're going to talk a little bit more about regrouping.
So we picking out some pebbles, you know what I'm saying, out the garden. We're going to sell them in front of the house.
Tons of ones.
See how many pebbles we can sell. Get it. Regroup. Yeah, regroup. Gotta learn how to add if I want to cool. Regroup. Yeah, regroup. Gotta learn how to add if I want to cool.
All those times we learned how to make it.
Regroup. Gotta learn how to add if I want to cool. Yeah, regroup.
When we try to regroup.
Yeah, regroup. Gotta learn how to add if I want to cool. 37 peppers, 3 3 10, 7 1. Gotta add them. Man, we finna find a sum. Ralph found 24, 2 10, 4 1s. Add the two
at those
together. First, we
babies.
gotta add the ones. 7 1 plus 4, that's 11 ones. That's
You
too
make it
many
10.
ones. How we gon' recruit these ones? Only write one
Yay, we
digit
made
in
it
the
10.
ones place. Now we got 11.
So much
group
easier,
of 10
Josh, you're
plus
right.
1. Carry the group of 10 over with the other group.
Add the baby
There's
ones
one
first.
left. Write that in the ones place.
Make it 10.
Count the deuce of 10s. There are 6 groups of 10. Write that in the 10s place. Hold up, take a break. Yeah, regroup.
Almost
Yeah,
done.
regroup. Gotta learn how to add if I wanna coop. Regroup. Yeah, regroup. Gotta learn how to add if I
Why is
wanna
it
coop.
important to add the ones first?
Regroup. Yeah, regroup. Gotta learn how to add if I wanna coop.
Okay. Let's fill in the blanks with the correct terms. So this is going to be a little challenging, but I'm going to help you as much as I can. These are some of the terms that I'm going to be looking for. Here, look at the answers are right here. I'm going to read the first sentence. When I blank 3 and 4 together, I get 7. So when I add 3 and 4 together, when I carry 3 and 4 together, when I ones place 3 and 4 together, when I tens place 3 and 4 together, when I regroup 3 and 4 together, I get 7. When I sum 3 and 4 together. So do you understand what we're doing? Read the sentence, choose the word that fits. Okay, I'm going to do the next one. And by the way, the answers are on my page. When the sum of the ones place is 10 or more, I can blank the ones over to the tens place. What did she say? Throw them over there? Roll them over there? Carry. Oh, yeah. If the sum is too big, I can carry the tens over. That's the word. How about this one? The number 52 has a 2 in the what's place. Okay, 52. Where is that 2? Is it in the tens or the ones? Okay, let's try the next one. Same number. What's the 5? The number 52 has a 5. What place is that in? Is it in grandma's place? No. The ones place? The tens place? Look at that 5. People that reverse their numbers will have a little more difficulty with that. It helps to trace it with your fingers. Next one. I had to blank 12 ones into 110 and 2 ones. Oh, what was that word Miss Cruz said? When we collect enough ones, we have tons of ones, we can regroup. There's the word. We can regroup them and make them into a 10. And the last one, this one you need to be using. A lot of kids say, it's called an answer. When you're adding, it's called the sum, S-U-M, sum. The sum of 1 plus 5 is 6. All right, let's see how we did. I know, I had the answers up on my screen to help you. But this is important because these are the terms, the vocabulary words that you are expected to know. So if you didn't get a chance to finish, don't worry. You can practice it later on your own. Next, let's practice together. Let's take a field trip to a hot air balloon festival. Yes, we're going to walk around. And this is what I want you to be looking for. We are going to add the balloons that are up in the air. Oh, you have to count the ones in the air. And there's a lot of them. And add them to the ones that have not lifted off into the air yet. Okay. So let's count. All the ones that are on the ground, let's count those first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on the ground. How many are in the air, guys? Anybody can count them all for me? Who can count the ones in the air? Is it hard to see, London? Ooh, Siddharth said he sees how many in the air? Let's look. I'm going to zoom in. I see 1 over here in the back. That's 1. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and over here, 6, 7. 7 in the air. Okay, guys, 7 in the air. Remember that number. And 5 on the ground. What's 7 and 5? Regroup them. We have tons of ones.
12,
7,
12.
12. How do you know that?
Because 7 plus 3, 10, plus 2.
Oh, Siddharth, chef's kiss. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You did it. You regrouped. All right, so let's talk about what he did. He had 7 in the air, and he wants to add the ones that are on the ground still. So the 5 were on the ground, and he had 7 in the air. So 7's really close to 10. How many of the ones on the ground can he regroup? He said 3 more. So 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of the 5 on the ground, he took 3 of them and added them to 7. And that made it 10. He regrouped and left 2 babies left over. So now we have a 10 and 2 babies. What's that?
Excuse me?
Yes.
There's actually 6.
Where? 6 on the
So-
ground? 6 on the ground?
Yeah?
Oh, maybe Mrs. Cruz needs to recount. Let's see. 1, there's this black and rainbow one. 2, this red and black one. 3, this yellow Thanksgiving looking one. 4, this pretty rainbow one. 5, oh, Miss Cruz count. Who said that? That was brilliant. Was that Julian?
Me, Julian.
Julian, thank you
It's
for
me.
finding it. All right, Siddharth, try it again. 7 and 6.
So then, if there are 5, you need to get 4. So then 11 stands.
7 and 6 is 7, 8, 9,
7
10.
so 5 it can be split to 4 and 1. So you need 6 plus 4 equals 10. And then add 1. The 1.
Oh, I think we have a little bit more to add. Let's see. We had 7. Oops, that's a terrible color. Let's try that again.
That almost matches
7, I know.
the sky. So it
7
looks
in
like
the
it's
air.
shining and you can't see anything.
And he said 6 on the ground, which is my bad. Okay, we have 6. So 7, and we can break the 6 up. 7 needs 3 more. So let's give this. Oh, this looks familiar. It's a 10. It's a number bond. And then we have 3 left over. So now in your T chart, ooh, what a terrible T chart. Can you mute so I can finish? Thank you, my love. Thank you for muting, Mr. Jules. All right, so he didn't mute yet. Where is he? Oh, good. Okay, so what do we see? That we can break up the 6, make a number bond out of it, give 3 to the 7, regroup it. We now have a 10. There he is, Mr. 10. And we still have 3 left over. Our answer is, or sum, whoops, is 13. Use the word sum, Miss Cruz. Okay, love bugs. Let's skip to, we're going to skip this part. We've already talked about it. And now, finally, we're finishing up, okay? We just have this and a quiz. Here we go. This little guy is going to talk a little bit more about
Hi,
regrouping.
kids. Today we are going to use our addition skills to learn more about place value. We will use place value to help us solve our story problems. Let's take a look over here and see what problems we have to solve. There are 2 classes in the 2nd grade. Mrs. Jenkins' class has 32 students and Mr. Smith's class has 27 students.
Ooh, big numbers,
we
remember
need to
that?
find out how many students are in the 2nd grade. What do I need to do to find out how many students there are in all?
Now don't hide under your desk. Remember earlier on, it said to add the what's first? What do we add first? London, 10s or 1s?
The 1.
You're right. So let's look at the 1s place. We have 7 and 2. We can add that quickly, can't we?
59.
We need to add these numbers together. So we are going to add 32 plus 27.
Using our
We have
place
double-digit
value.
numbers here, and a really cool way to add these together is to use our knowledge of place value. Let's set up these numbers differently so we can see the place value for each number. Now to make sure we have the numbers in the correct spot, let's look at each number. If we look at the 32, we can see that the 3 is in the 10s place and the 2 is in the 1s place. Looking at the 27, we can see that the 2 is in the tens place and the 7 is in the ones place.
Mm-hmm.
So do we have them lined up correctly?
Yes. All the baby ones, all the tens.
Great!
I have a
We do have them lined
question.
up correctly. And now we can use some base 10 blocks to help us add them together. So to get 32,
Wait for
we need
this to be over,
10,
okay?
20, 30. Now, I have the 3 in the tens place, but I still need the blocks for the ones place, so I need 2 of the ones blocks. Now on to the 27.
Okay,
We need-
what you notice right there is he made a model of 32. There's 3 tens and 2 ones. He just made a model of it. I like to draw models, don't you?
We need to get 27
Is he
blocks.
going to draw
and we
the
need to
model
start in
for
the tens
27
place.
as well?
So here is 10, 20. Now in the ones place, I need
Yes.
7 of the ones blocks. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Raise your hand if you like to draw models of tens and ones. Yeah, you better raise your hands. You know I love it. I love models. Okay,
We
guys.
can now add these
so
2 groups together.
we're almost
but to
there.
do this, we need to be careful and stay within our place values.
Yep.
This means that we should not add the tens blocks with the ones blocks.
That's right. Add them separately.
So we are going to join all our tens place together, and then we will join all of our ones place.
He said join tens first, but London said we should never do that. We should always add the ones first. And if you add the ones first, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You'd put a 9 underneath, raindrop it right underneath the ones place. And then we can add how many tens. Here's a question for you. Does it look like we've regrouped?
6, 7,
Did we
8,
make any
9.
tens, guys? Did it look like we had enough ones to make a 10? Yes or no? I counted 9 baby ones. Is that enough to make a 10? That's right. If you said no, that's correct. That problem was a wonderful example of a beginning first grade problem where you don't have to regroup. You don't have enough baby ones to make a 10. So we don't need to regroup and carry over. All right, let's look at the next one. There's another. Oops. Go back, Miss Cruz. Go back, Miss Cruz. Okay. Now, let's look at another
So as we can
example.
see, 9 and 3 are 20.
Sorry, go to the next example.
9, 10.
Okay.
Now we need to stop here and remember what we learned about regrouping. We now have 10 ones, which is the same as one of our 10 blocks.
So we're going to stop here and notice that these are 2 new add-ins, 47 M&Ms and 29 more. And we're going to add the ones first because London said you better do the ones first. So raindrops straight down, like Christina said, 7 and 9 is a tons of ones. Those are going to be a lot of ones. I think we can make a 10 and carry it over. Let's see. Okay, we're almost done.
We need to
Pay
trade these
attention.
in for a tens block. Remember, we can do this because 10 ones are the same as one of these 10 blocks. Let's start over and count our ones again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we put the number 6 down here under the ones.
Those are the
Now
leftovers.
we can count our tens. We have 1,
And
2,
here is
3,
the 10 we
4,
were able
5,
to make.
6, 7 tens. We can put the number 7 under the tens place.
Because if we go back a little bit, we
Our-
notice
now have
that
10
there's
ones.
tons of ones. 7 and 9 ones is a lot of one. Oops, there's even more. And we can borrow some of them or shift them, regroup them, and we can make a 10. All right, loves, let's go on to our quiz. We are out of 3 questions. How many do you think you need to have correct to prove that you understand regrouping, or at least are starting to understand regrouping? So should we have 0 or 1 answer correct? How about B, 2? 2's good. How about 3? All 3. I'm pretty sure I need to get all 3 right. I'm going to get all 3 right because I'm starting to understand regrouping. Regrouping using place value. If we have too many, we can group them and carry them over. Awesome. All right, you guys ready? Let's try it. And I like the honest folks, you know. Sometimes we do get problems wrong. That's okay. It helps us learn. All right. Here we go. Quiz time. Read them carefully. Ooh, nice work. And if you're not getting them right, it's okay. We're still learning. We need to know in this quiz, which place are the ones, which place are the tens, and that last question, can you add the ones first? Look at the ones place. If you add the ones first, I bet there's tons of ones. And we can regroup some of them and move them over to the tens place. Ah, yeah. It's going to take some practice, but hopefully you've begun to understand what regrouping truly is. It's just a helpful strategy so that you can learn how to add bigger numbers. That's right. If we remember from our iReady test, there were some really huge numbers, and a lot of you were, oh, rolling your eyes, and I saw some tears because the numbers just look so big. But there's tricks and strategies, and this is one of them. And I want you to feel successful. I don't want you to feel upset when you see big numbers. I want you to say, oh, I know how to do that. Well, one of the ways that we can do that is to learn about how we can regroup our place value. All right, loves, we're done. We're finished. We're going to stop here, even if you didn't finish, because I have small groups. Yeah, you guys coming to my small group? We
Yeah,
have
yeah, I'm in group one. I'm in group one.
awesome.
I'm
So,
in group one.
any quick questions? You have like 10 seconds for questions.
I don't
Don't-
have a question.
No? Okay, but you know what? I'm going to send out
I'm in group one too.
I'm going to send
I'm
out
in
that
group one
challenge,
too.
okay? Bye, puppy.
Bye.